The giant warship's mere presence in Busan port is a stark warning of the firepower of the forces ready to confront North Korea. The USS Ronald Reagan has played a leading role in a week of intense military exercises off the Korean peninsula, in what some see as a dangerous game of brinkmanship.
The Republic of Korea and U.S. Navy forces have, by their actions, demonstrated our commitment, resolve, and ability to defend the Republic of Korea and maintain security and stability on the Korean Peninsula.
The USS Ronald Reagan is a 100,000-ton nuclear-powered aircraft carrier with 5,000 sailors on board. This week they performed 90 F-18 Super Hornet sorties in the Yellow Sea and the Sea of Japan. Their mission here is almost complete, but the message of these war exercises is loud and clear.
My brother.
North Korea has condemned the exercises, calling them a rehearsal for war. At a nuclear non-proliferation conference in Moscow, a North Korean diplomat said the United States would have to put up with its nuclear status.
As for the DPRK, this is the matter of life and death, and the present situation further strengthens our belief that we should strongly hold to the nuclear weapons to deter the possible US attacks.
As the naval exercises wind up, North Korea's threat of what it called an unimaginable strike on the aircraft carrier appears, for now at least, to be more rhetoric.
Propaganda always creates expectations on the part of the populace that the regime or the government is going to carry through on them to some extent. So I would not be surprised at all if in the weeks ahead we do see a belated North Korean reaction to these exercises. Ironically enough, they tend to act up more when they're sounding peaceful than when they're making bellicose noises. So I think the West should be on its alert.
As the standoff continues, the Allies are again discussing a possible diplomatic resolution through back channels. Donald Trump is scheduled to meet allies in Asia early next month. His tour includes stops in Japan, South Korea, Vietnam and the Philippines.
There's another round of saber rattling coming from the U.S. side of this North Korea crisis. The U.S. Navy involved in exercises all this week in the waters off the east and west of the Korean Peninsula, including the USS Michigan nuclear-powered submarine, which can be equipped, we are told, with as many as 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles, and reportedly could have on board a special force team that could take out the North Korean leadership if need be. All told, we're talking about 40 ships from the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet involved, featuring the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan, as well as destroyers, fighter jets, other aircraft, all running maneuvers with the South Korean military. Eric, the North Korean regime has called these exercises a rehearsal for invasion.
As a pretty blunt message to us and to them. And as you just said, they remain defiant. So how has North Korea responded? With more anti-U.S. rhetoric this weekend?
Absolutely. Over the weekend, the propaganda machine of the North Korean regime working overtime. The state news agency of the government of Kim Jong-un branding President Trump a war merchant, a strangler of peace, claiming that by selling or giving weapons to South Korea and Japan, he is creating a hair trigger situation on the Korean Peninsula. Of course, the Pyongyang government are responsible for multiple missile launches and nuclear tests. They even went so far, according to our sources on the ground, as dropping anti-President Trump leaflets from balloons sent over from North Korea. Some of the propaganda even landing around the capital of Seoul. That's one reminder, Eric, of how close everything is on that Korean Peninsula. And that's a place that President Trump will be coming to in the coming week.
The giant warship's mere presence in Busan port is a stark warning of the firepower of the forces ready to confront North Korea. The USS Ronald Reagan has played a leading role in a week of intense military exercises off the